Guess who's back? Back again. Yeah, it's me. So today we're talking Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic starring Rami Malek. So the story of this, if you've not seen it, which I'm guessing you probably have by now because it seems like every man and their dog has seen this film by now, basically follows the story of the band Queen from their creation to the Live Aid concert that they performed and everything in between. There's not too much you can really go into in terms of anything else because it is based upon true events. So if you know the story of Queen, you will probably see it during this film. That being said, if you are a Queen fan, and when I say Queen fan, I mean if you are a die-hard Queen fan, I'm pretty sure that you are going to enjoy this movie, simply because the movie is an homage to Queen. That doesn't necessarily make it a good movie. And in fact, I would go as far as saying that doesn't excuse the fact that this is a bad movie. It doesn't feel like a film to me. It feels like it's a mishmash of quite a lot of things, but putting that all together and creating something and calling it a biopic movie doesn't sit well with me because I don't think that that's what this is at all. Rami Malek plays Freddie Mercury extremely well. There's no denying his performance deserves the amount of awards and praise that it got, because when you are watching the film, you completely forget that you are not watching Freddie Mercury. You are totally bought in by his transformation. Totally bought in by it, and he is easily, hands down, the best part of this film, but only because of his performance of Freddie Mercury. One of the things that I found really hard about the film, to kind of get engrossed about this film, is that how seemingly easy everything seemed to be for them, for the creation of their music. Now, anyone that knows Queen will know that they are, when you look at them, when you just look at the band and the people that are within this band, they look like a bunch of misfits. And they do touch upon that in the movie. They touch upon the fact that they are not the usual type of band that you will see, and that they embrace that. However, because there is such a disparity between each of the people within the band, there is a large part of the film that showcases their clashing of heads, if you will. And naturally that's going to happen. But what I find most unbelievable about this entire film, that throughout all of the clashing of heads and throughout all of the disagreements, all of the arguments, all of the fights, that the way that the music, or the way that they portrayed that the music was produced, was far too easy and just like that. So what I mean is, in the middle of an argument, you would never, ever, ever in your wildest dreams expect your bass guitarist to then start playing a riff. You immediately stop that argument and go and write and perform and record a song. That would never, ever happen. Now, if it did happen, I stand corrected, but I find it extremely difficult, and that's just one instance, but I find it extremely difficult to believe that that is true. If you're watching this film for the first time and you don't really have a good understanding of Queen's music, you don't have a good understanding or knowledge of who Freddie Mercury is, what he did, what he went through, I will go as far as saying right now, you will not like Freddie Mercury by the end of this film. He was loved and adored by millions, if not billions of people. The way that he is portrayed in this film is not a likeable person. Now, he may not have been a nice person. I don't know, I didn't know him, but the way that he is portrayed in this film is not a likeable person. And I don't think that does anything for him. I know that he's not around to defend himself, but I don't think that that does anything for him. And I don't necessarily think it does anything for Queen. Because even though that they have good music, people will be put off by the way that he behaved. And that's nothing to do with sexual orientation or anything like that. It's just that he wasn't a real nice man at all, from the way that this was portrayed. So if you don't have that prior knowledge of Queen, or you don't have that love of Queen straight away, I don't think that this film is going to do any favours for new fans to start liking Queen. Now, I don't That's not to say that this film isn't just for new people. It's not. It's like I said, it's an homage to Queen, and the majority of the people that are going to see this and the majority of people that are going to praise this and enjoy this are people that love Queen. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's loving Queen and then there's saying that this is a good movie. And I don't think that you can do that in the same vein. The movie doesn't feel like a movie. And anyone that has watched this film, I would hope that you would agree with me in the sense that there is more lip syncing and more performance in this movie than I feel there is actual acting. And that's not a movie to me. That is just snippets of a live story in between someone performing a song. That's not a movie to me. And then when I was discussing this, after I watched this and when I was discussing this with my friend Andy at work, he mentioned to me that the director came out and actually said that the flow of this movie was changed purposefully to make it feel more thematic, which basically tells you that this is not a biopic. This is the director's interpretation of what would look good on film. So what you see from start to end didn't necessarily happen in that order, and that is not what a biopic should be. A biopic should be, this is what happened, this is factual. This is factual, this is how it ended. Not, this is what happened at the start, this is what happened at the end, and a couple of things happen here, but because that doesn't make sense for a movie, what we'll do is this. That is not a biopic, and that's another thing that really frustrates me about this film, is that it feels too smooth and too simple and too flowing for it to be real. And it takes you out of the film so much because you're focusing so much on what doesn't feel right rather than enjoying what you've got in front of you. I enjoy Queen's music, and each song that played, you sing along to because it's almost impossible not to if you know the songs. But again, that doesn't make this a good movie. It doesn't, unfortunately. And one last thing that I will mention about this film is the end of this film had me... I was watching this film by myself, but it had me looking around, looking for answers from people that weren't even there. What I mean by that is, the last 20 minutes of this film is an entire recreation of the Live Aid set. An entire recreation of that set. Now, I don't mean that's cut here, it's cut there. It's an entire recreation from start to finish. 20 minutes. I found myself looking around thinking, what are we waiting for? Is it going to end? Is it not? I think the idea behind this was that people wanted to watch, that you want to end this film with the big finale that Freddie, amongst everything that was going on, the band got together and they managed to get through and give an outstanding performance. And don't get me wrong, that set in Live Aid is an incredible set. But why recreate the entire thing? It doesn't feel natural to put that in a film when the rest of the film is so chop and cut and chop and cut and chop and cut and chop and cut. It doesn't feel natural for you to put a 20-minute section right at the end of the film of an entire set. It just doesn't feel right. And it goes on far too long for me. Far too long. As I said before, Rami Malek in it is... You simply cannot deny his performance of Freddie Mercury. You can't. And if anyone says that he didn't perform him well, they need to have a word with themselves, because he did, and he absolutely deserves the utmost praise in transforming himself into Freddie Mercury. Apart from that, I can't find anything else about the film, other than just the fact that it was Queen music. I can't find anything else about the film that I enjoyed. It just didn't work for me, unfortunately. So that was Bohemian Rhapsody. Do you think that I'm being fair? Do you think I'm being overly harsh? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel as well. We've got an Instagram account and a Facebook page that we're updating regularly, and the links for those are in the description below. See you next time. Peace!